When we step outside on a clear night and look up, we think we're seeing the present, a blanket of stars scattered across the sky. Some dim, some bright, some grouped in patterns our ancestors called constellations. But what we're really seeing is the past. Every point of light in the sky is a messenger, carrying with it a story that began long before we were born. That star above you tonight. The light hitting your eyes may have started its journey thousands of years ago, before the rise of Rome, before the pyramids, before the first spark of human civilization. Some of the stars you see no longer exist. They exploded long ago. Yet their light continues to travel across space like a ghost that refuses to vanish. This is the first truth about starlight. It is time made visible. And if we look deep enough into the sky with the right instruments, we can see not just thousands of years into the past, but billions. We can see back to the birth of the first stars, the ancient beacons that lit up a universe once drowned in darkness. Chapter 1. The Dark Universe Before the First Light. To understand starlight, we have to go back to a time before light existed at all. 13.8 billion years ago, the universe began in a single, incomprehensible moment, the Big Bang. It wasn't an explosion in space. It was the expansion of space itself. In less than a second, reality unfolded from a point smaller than an atom to something the size of a galaxy. But this newborn universe was not bright. It was a storm of energy and particles. Plasma so hot and dense that light itself couldn't move freely. Imagine standing inside the heart of a star. Light would be trapped, scattered endlessly. For nearly 400,000 years, the universe remained a glowing fog. Then, something changed. As it cooled, particles combined into the first atoms, hydrogen and helium. For the first time, light broke free and traveled unobstructed. That faint glow is still around us today. We call it the cosmic microwave background. It is literally the afterglow of creation, the oldest light in the universe. But it wasn't starlight. It was uniform, featureless, almost boring. The universe had light, yes, but no stars, no galaxies, no structure. The universe was dark, silent, empty, until gravity began its slow, patient work. Chapter 2. The first stars ignite hydrogen and helium. That's all the young universe had. Just two simple elements floating endlessly. But gravity gathered them into massive clouds, pulling tighter and tighter until, in the hearts of those clouds, pressure and heat reached unimaginable levels. And then the first spark. Nuclear fusion ignited. Hydrogen atoms fused into helium, releasing fire so bright it cut through the cosmic darkness. The first stars had been born. But these weren't like the stars we see today. They were titans hundreds of times more massive than our sun. They burned with a brilliance and violence that modern stars cannot match. Their lifespans were short, only a few million years, before collapsing in spectacular explosions called supernova. And in their deaths, they created something new, the heavier elements. Carbon, oxygen, iron, the ingredients of planets, oceans, and life. Every atom in your body, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen you breathe was forged in the heart of a star billions of years ago. Carl Sagan once said, "At best, we are made of star stuff. That is not poetry. That is physics." Chapter 3. The journey of starlight. Now imagine the light from one of those ancient stars. A single photon born in nuclear fire, racing outward at 300,000 kilometers per second. It travels across the emptiness of space, a void so vast that even at the speed of light, the journey takes thousands, millions, or even billions of years. Along the way, it may be bent by gravity, stretched by the expansion of the universe, or absorbed and re-emitted by gas and dust. But if it survives, that photon may one day find its way into the lens of a telescope, or into the back of your eye. Think about that. The light you see tonight could have started its journey before humans existed. It could be older than Earth itself. And when you look at it in that instant, you are the final chapter of a story billions of years in the making. Chapter 4. Starlight as a cosmic archive. Here's the extraordinary thing. Starlight is not just light, it carries information. When scientists split starlight into its spectrum like a rainbow, they can read the fingerprints of elements within it. Sodium, hydrogen, helium, oxygen. Every line tells us what that star is made of. We can measure its distance, its temperature, its age. We can even detect the wobble of a star caused by orbiting planets, revealing alien worlds we cannot see directly. In this way, Starlight becomes an archive of the universe. It is a library written not in ink but in photons, and unlike the Library of Alexandria, it can never be burned. Chapter 5. Ghosts of Dead Stars. There's something unsettling about Starlight. Because it moves at a finite speed, we never see stars as they are. We see them as they were. Some of the stars in the night sky are already gone. They exploded thousands of years ago, but their light is still on its way. We are watching ghosts, the after images of things that no longer exist. Look up tonight and realize the sky is not a window, it is a graveyard of ancient light. Chapter 6. The light from the edge of time. With telescopes like Hubble, and soon with James Webb, we can peer farther and farther into the universe. And because light takes time to travel, looking far in space is looking far in time. When we look billions of light years away, we are seeing galaxies as they were billions of years ago, the farthest light we've captured. Nearly 13.8 billion years old shows us the universe just moments after its birth. We are looking at the edge of time itself. Think about what that means. Our eyes, aided by glass and mirrors, can pierce the veil of eternity. We are creatures of dust, standing on a tiny planet, daring to look back at creation itself. Chapter 7. The philosophy of Starlight. Now, let's step back. Starlight is more than science. It is philosophy written across the sky. Every human who has ever lived has looked up and wondered. Our ancestors drew stories in the constellations, navigated by the stars, prayed to them, feared them. They didn't know they were looking at time or at the ashes of dead suns, but they felt something. True, the stars connect us to something vast, something beyond ourselves. And here is the paradox. Starlight makes us feel small, a speck in an infinite cosmos. But it also makes us feel significant because the atoms in our bodies, the spark of our consciousness, are the products of those very stars. When you look at Starlight, you are looking at your own origin. Conclusion. The eternal story. So what is Starlight? It is time, stretched thin across the void. It is history, carried on waves of energy. It is proof that we are not separate from the universe, we are part of it. When you see a star tonight, remember, that light began its journey billions of years ago, and in this exact moment it ends its story in you. You are not just looking at the universe is looking at itself through your eyes. And that may be the most beautiful fact of all.